Hi Aries, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so we're going to be reading for the third going into the fourth week of June. So we're pretty much reading for the end of the month, which should be right around Cancer season. All right, what's the situation here for my Aries, please? Speaking of Cancer, wow. Sometimes I swear the things that I'm thinking of randomly that just come right out after. It's the Chariot card, which is a Cancer card. All right, anything else for situation? But besides the Cancer card, we've got the King of Swords. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. I say energy because it could be anybody. It just happens to be a person, smart, thinks things through, logical, rational, reasonable, fair, balanced, honest. They try to be unbiased as much as possible, but they're in the upright position. So this tells me this person puts this person in a favorable light. So this is somebody that's available to you. It also means that this is the incoming energy. Somebody is coming towards you hard and fast. All right, with the Chariot next to this person. I'm laughing because in the one picture, the chick is like on a motorcycle and this guy's in a wheelchair. There's probably an engine behind that wheelchair. But before, what I was telling about smart, you know, that it's depicted here by the eagle and the sword, obviously the sword. The vibes I'm getting from this card is, I have two counts here, and we'll see more when I clarify, but what I'm initially vibing and feeling off the cards is that you right now, Aries, are very driven, very focused to your agenda. Now, this person could be helping you on your path or just happens to fall on your path, and on your path, you're like not noticing them, okay? Like you're not seeing how significant they are. By the way, this video was done back to back with the previous week, so they just happened to be scheduled out. The same thing is going to happen for you for August when I go away for the month because I cannot be videotaping in Europe. But I will put up some short videos just for fun. All right, at the bottom of the deck, I see the Hierophant too. The Hierophant is doing something traditional. It's talking about doing something in an orthodox manner. So it's like dating, courting, going to school to get a degree, things of that nature. Even at work, taking the tried and true traditional measures for your career, going through those motions. Okay, let's proceed. If anybody is curious to know what the deck is called, it's called This Might Hurt, because we all know tarot sometimes is not pretty. It doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what you need to hear, unfortunately, and sometimes fortunately. All right, let's continue. What's coming towards my Aries, please? Some of you, however, could be dealing with an air sign or a Cancer sign. And going back to that, you're driven while this person, this individual, is somehow incoming into your life. But I don't think you notice them at first because you just have some sort of blinders on. Because I think that some of you are focused financially with your careers, with your life, and you've built up a lot of things, and you might, some of you, be worried about, you know, losing grip or ground on, you know, the things that you built in your life. You don't want it all to, you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So you're like, just the bathwater, please. But this person comes along, which could be positive. I just don't think you might be seeing them just yet. And the big reason for this is somebody here is holding on to someone. Four of Pentacles. Others of you, this is somebody you've been dealing with. They're still incoming. You're just not letting them distract you. All right. But I do see a holding on type of energy. This could be holding on to money and saving for a rainy day. This could be holding on to a shitty ass job because you're worried and concerned. Or you're holding on to an old relationship or feeling or some kind of emotion. Let's see. Let me have one more for what's coming towards Aries, please. Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups at the back of your mind. Okay, So there is some sort of invitation that you might have received, or an invitation that you are giving out, and it's just kind of ruminating at the back of your mind. It's like the thing that's kind of holding you back, or just there lingering, because you're reflecting on pausing on the time and energy you had spent with someone. So you're debating whether you should have a conversation, a genuine conversation, face to face, on an emotional level. All right, so that is the thing that's doing what you're doing right now. You're pausing, you're holding, you're reflecting, you haven't let go, and what's holding you back is the fact that you want to have an emotional conversation. All right, Queen of Pentacles. You just want stability. You want to know you're okay. What is it that Aries doesn't see coming their way? Page of Cups and the Infinity card, which is kind of like the World card. Page of Cups and the Infinity. Instead of having a face-to-face, we have a bunch of text messaging, all right? Or you're dealing with somebody that's young. I don't know what behind the ears is what's coming to mind. Someone very green. You're starting a new chapter. And the way you're starting this chapter is just small, baby steps. You could be dealing with someone far younger, like I said, or immature. But for others of you, with the Infinity symbol, it's like here you go again in some weird pattern, round and round you go. Instead of doing the deeper connection stuff, or having those kind of conversations that you have face to face, they somehow get diminished. They get pulled back and they become smaller. They become through text messages. It's like you walk up to the line to have that deep conversation, and then you walk back, and then you're kind of like, let's leave it at a text message. This might be you, it might be the other person. I get the running away type of energy. I get the like, and then run away. It's like, say something and then don't see the reaction and leave. Something casual, something non-committal, because you have the Knight of Wands at the back of the deck. Knight of Wands, like if I was to put it in context with work, it's like doing something fast without checking your work, not crossing your T's, dotting your I's, just real quick and that's it, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with relationships. It's like in, out energy. It's non-committal. That's why you also have the Page of Cups, because it's small. There's a big difference between having a page and a Knight of Wands, and then having the Knight of Cups, because the Knights are messengers and the pages are the delivery people. So what do we use as a delivery system in today's world? We use cell phones. We use emails. And that's it. Knights are people who actually deliver the messages, like the mailman. So, and depending on the element, it's the kind of emotion or energy that comes with it. So again, yes, it's an energy of emotion with the Page of Cups, but it looks like round and round we go again. And the Knight of Wands, delivering something quickly and leaving right out the door. What is the advice, please? I like to explain the cards because maybe there's thousands of you watching this video, so maybe you understand what it means to your world and your situation, because the common thread is still there for your cohort, your group, Aries. Oh, wow. And there's the Hierophant again. You have to do something tried and true. There is no cutting corners. That's probably why I saw the Knight of Wands. The Four of Swords, healing. King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. So there's a person amongst you, not you. It's the other person for sure with the King of Pentacles. Someone very earthly, very grounded, has their shit together. But their presence is something that you need to heal from, okay? Because sometimes people leave an imprint on us in the sense that they put doubts in our mind. And no Aries is comfortable with the world of doubts, right? So there is someone here that might have left that imprint on you in the past, and now you're healing yourself from that energy. At least that's what you have to do, okay? Because that's what your advice is. And the last card is the King of Wands. So we have two kings. Actually, you have three. That's shocking. The King of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Very attractive, very passionate, very fiery. I want to underscore passion, okay, because everyone has their own language. And for a fire sign, it's heat, it's fire. You know what that is because you are one. You need to heal yourself, possibly from a marriage or a commitment that you have here with somebody. If I was to put this in work context, I would say you need to heal and make amends with a particular individual that is something traditional. So you can't cut corners. You can't get around this person. If they're doing something bad to you, it's like you have to go to HR. One of those things. If it's in a relationship, it's healing from that relationship. Those things that you wanted to do traditionally that haven't been done. Whatever. You get it, what it is for you. Nine of Cups. This is about your own personal wish fulfillment. I'm sure you've been feeling this way. I'm sure you've been feeling, actually, Aries, underappreciated through Gemini season. That's going to change during Cancer season. And your feelings are going to go towards more to family, hearth, and home. And you. Mostly you. Where you belong. Where is your dynamic? What do you mean to other people and what they mean to you? You're looking at your personal own wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups because you feel a little dry and you want those cups to be full. That's why it's saying you have to heal from this dynamic with these two people, and or if there was a marriage or a commitment on the table or something that has to take a traditional measure. We'll see more when we clarify. What is the outcome for the week, please? So I did these videos with last week, so I did this a week in advance because I just felt like from supposedly for you, last week's video for me was 5 minutes ago, and this week's video, that's for you next week, well, it is now, if you're watching it. I felt like it was a to be continued kind of video from last week's energy versus this week, and I could see the break. So that's why I did these videos back to back, and that's why at the beginning of this video I was saying how third week going into the fourth, because they bleed into each other, because your energy has not shifted and it is shifting between the middle of the week. So I felt like it was prudent to do these videos back to back, because your outcome over here is, this is crazy. The Tower and the Ace of Cups, it's like almost bittersweet. Something ends and something new begins. On the shittier side, the truth hurts kind of thing, but this might hurt, Tarot. It talks about failure to launch something, okay? Something in love, a fresh new start in love. So something that was new in love, it could be talking about that, failure to launch. Others of you, it could be talking about a fresh new start in love that's shocking, that comes out of nowhere and it upends your world. We'll see in a minute, because the Queen of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, and that is you. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could also be talking about being a mistress or a mister, being like in an affair. And you are, that person engaging in an affair. I can't wait to clarify this, because this is like missing a mark ever so slightly, and that always sucks. Nothing feels worse than that. Let's continue. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a fresh new start in love, shockingly out of nowhere. If not, it means failure to launch something. You got a lot of people, a lot of incoming energy from the other side. What is the King of Swords and the Chariot, please? Wow, look at all these knights. Wow. Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay. A lot of you are dealing with a boss that is like sort of a thorn in your side, not like you can't make heads or tails of this person. That's just random. That's just out there. There's some kind of cycle, though, that's going to be ending soon with that individual. All right. Let's continue. Back to your situation with the King of Swords and the Chariot. You're moving forward slowly and cautiously. I think you are putting out some sort of feelers. Maybe you are asking someone out to have that face-to-face situation. I think this is your version of bossing up, Aries, because I think you're done. Like, I get the feeling of like being done. So, because here you are as the Emperor. And that's why you have the Chariot, because your mind is set somewhere and that's it. You're like, I'm bossing up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put out my feelers. I'll be cautious, the Knight of Pentacles, but I'm going to explain how I feel, the Knight of Cups. All right. And it could be to this other person, the air sign individual. Let us continue. What is the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles? Another Knight, a Knight of Swords. And then the Hierophant. I think you're trying to rush in to communicate something. It's really all about communication this week from what I'm looking at. I think that whatever you've been going through, and it's funny because Gemini season is all about communication. They're actually an air sign too, so it's all about mental and communication. You are finally coming to this place where you are rushing in to communicate something that you're not going to stay stagnant, because you can't. It's not your thing. It's not your energy. It's not your vibe. You can't stay stagnant. I think you're going about it cautiously. I see what you want to do, but then I end up seeing what you do with the Knight of Swords. Because after you sit here and you pause and you reflect, I think you take action, and then you go out and you disperse some kind of message, some kind of action through communication, or you're receiving it. It could be coming from the other end. Now, what is the Page of Cups and the infinity symbol, the world symbol? This definitely has something to do with marriage or commitment, or your job with a lot of money on your home, like a job that you make a lot of money. All right, this is getting justice for that, okay? Because this could either be talking about divorce for some of you, and it could be talking on a financial sense. Others of you, I don't know, maybe it's a prenup. It's money and justice, you get it, but it's also in regards to a family commitment. I do see Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is something that's causing you pain, though. I am feeling pain. What's the Page of Cups, please? You're being, yeah, you are texting. You are doing something with small, little, tiny energy. You're being positive and hopeful. You're trying to do things the right way. You're trying to do things the traditional way. This is why I keep seeing Hierophant. Yeah, I think you're trying to fix something that might have been broken. Sometimes it needs to just be fucking broken. Aries, I'm just going to tell you, I tell everybody all this time. It's like trying to glue together a fractured mirror. You're only going to cut yourself doing it. It's like going back and repairing something. It broke for a reason, because it was never correct in the first place. All right? So this thing, this Ten of Swords in reverse, that's explaining things to me, it's telling me you're going back to something that was hurtful to you, something that was painful for you. And you're revisiting that. You're trying to remain positive and hopeful. I don't know if you're trying to resurrect it, fix it, whatever, but you're getting justice for it. That's what I do know. Because I love seeing justice in the upright position. Because that's also a karma card. It's karma correction. So those who did you dirty get their fair share of it. They get the dirty. But what's the infinity, please? They come back to vindicate you, validate you. Something about unrequited love, or something that was making you very unhappy. Lovers, absolutely. Somebody who was either keeping you a lover, or you had a lover, or you have a lover. And there's this crazy ass runner chaser dynamic. They come back to vindicate you, validate you. That's why you have justice there. Round and round and round you go. That's why you have the infinity symbol. And that's why you have the Page of Cups, because it's some sort of immaturity thing. Something that keeps going around in circles. But you're going to get justice, because I feel like you've been treated unfairly. All right. The Hierophant, Four Swords, and the Two Kings, please, as advice. Also, when I see kings in the advice position, yes, these are individuals that are in your world that there is something you could fix with them potentially. But if it's talking about borrowing their energy, being like them, it's just, excuse me, it talks about you grounding yourself, getting your shit together, but still keeping that fiery energy within you, being that creative soul that you are. All right, so the magician, the magician and judgment. You really need to make a decision here and manifest the future that you want. It's that simple. Judgment and magician. And you have everything in your arsenal to make it happen. You're smart enough. You're wise enough. You're creative enough. You're interesting enough. You're good looking enough. You have the connections. You have the wherewithal. You have it all. You have the support system. You have ways to make it happen. You have everything in front of this altar for you to make that judgment call and make something happen in your world, in your life. You just have to heal a part of you or deal with something from maybe how these two individuals are involved. Make a decision and start manifesting the future that you want. Do it the tried and true way though, with the Hierophant there. Some of you could be like talking about healing from a marriage commitment situation, needing to make that judgment call and just literally putting a knife to it and just blank them out and move on. So what is this Tower and the Ace of Cups, please? Well, you have the Seven of Cups, which means you have options, clearly, because there's 3 kings here. But it does look like a failure to launch in a certain situation. It's weird. It's like on and off. It's not exactly like completely off. I get that vibe. I just feel like something happened, something cracked in the surface of a situation. Like you've gone a big fight at your job and you're hanging bound by a thread at work, but you still have the job. You had a big fight with your boyfriend, girlfriend, but it's still there, but it's not over. But there was a crack in the surface and it had to appear, but you have options. And this breadcrumbing bullshit for you isn't working anymore. It's just not. You do feel stuck though. You do feel like if you leave, what other options do you have? That's why you have Magician in your advice. What do you mean? You're not stuck. If you ever notice these cards, I love these cards. This person, these swords aren't completely covering the front of her. She's not in complete jail. She's not really locked up, quite literally. She could take off her blindfold and see that she's got ways to get herself loose from the situation. Once she takes off the blindfold, she can get loose from those hand binds. She could kick the swords down and she could take the broom and fly the fuck away and shove it up someone's you know what. No, I'm just kidding. But you get the point. But yes, so for you, it's like you're having some sort of failure to launch because you feel like you're getting breadcrumbs. You're like, what? But I get the vibe though, honestly, that person is going to feel that energy from you. And they're going to feel you pulling away. And then they're going to try to wheel you back in. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to pause you for a hot second because I have to plug in.